right, you picked the perfect crate. You set it up at a nice spot, maybe you tossed in a toy or two. You've been trying to convince your puppy that it's a great place to take a nice nap, and your puppy still acts like you've locked them inside a scary dark dungeon. They're whining, they're barking, they're pawing at the door like their life depended on it. You're exhausted. You feel terrible, and you're starting to wonder if you should just throw in the towel on this whole crate thing. But here's the part most people miss. The crate itself is rarely the problem. It's almost always the setup around the crate. And today, I'm gonna walk you through the most common reasons puppies hate their crate and exactly what to do about each one. I'm Michelle, your fear-free certified trainer. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss a new video when it drops. Now here's something I want you to understand before we get to the list. Crate training is not something that just happens. It's something we teach. When a puppy hates the crate, it never means your puppy is stubborn or difficult. It means somewhere along the way, the crate got skipped or rushed or set up in the wrong way that made it harder than it needed to be. The good news? Every single thing on this list is fixable. Here's what's going on and how to make it work. Reason number one, you're moving too fast. So this is the most common crate training mistake I see. You bring your puppy home, you set up the crate, and you need it to work, like now. But your puppy has never seen a crate before in their life. And expecting them to happily sit in it for hours within the first few days is a little like someone locking you in a room in a strange, sketchy place you've never been in before and saying, "It's okay. This is totally fine. Now relax." Your puppy needs time to learn that the crate is a safe, comfortable place. And that learning happens in small, positive steps, not all at once. So the action step here is keep your expectations low and your patience high in those first few days. Work on short, positive crate sessions outside of the time that you actually need to use it. The investment you make now is going to pay off big time later. Reason number two, the crate only is used when you leave. So here's something that sneaks up on a lot of puppy owners. If your puppy only ever goes in the crate when you're heading out the door or going to bed, the crate starts to feel like a warning signal. Your puppy begins to connect the crate with your disappearance. And that association builds anxiety before they even step inside it. So the action step, use the crate during the day while you're still home and nearby. Toss in treats casually throughout the day so your puppy wanders in and finds a little surprise and makes a positive association with it. Feed meals inside the crate. Unless your puppy is extremely leery of it, then just skip that step. But make it a normal and regular old part of daily life rather than the thing that happens right before you vanish. Number three, the crate is the wrong size. Now, an oversized crate can actually make a puppy feel less secure, not more. Too much space feels unsettled and uncozy for a young puppy who's looking for a cozy feeling. Now, on the flip side, a crate that's too small, well, it's just plain uncomfortable. And then, here's the potty training connection most people don't think about either. A crate that's too large, too big, gives your puppy enough room to go potty in one corner and then try to sleep in another. This completely defeats one of the biggest benefits of crate training. We never want to teach a puppy to go potty in the crate. Once that habit begins, it is a very hard habit to break, and it becomes a problem when your pup is covered in pee or poo, requiring daily baths to get them all cleaned up. Now the action step, your puppy should be able to stand up, turn around, and lie down comfortably, and that's it. If you have a large metal crate for a small puppy, I want you to use the divider to reduce the space and then expand it as your puppy grows. Comment size if you want to watch a video on how to pick the best crate and the right size for your pup. Reason number four, your puppy is either overtired or under-exercised. Trying to crate train a puppy who hasn't had a chance to burn off any energy is a recipe for crate chaos. But here's the flip side that most people didn't expect either. An overtired or an overstimulated puppy is just as hard to settle as an under-exercised one. Think about a little kid at the end of the day at an amusement park. They are completely exhausted, but instead of falling asleep, they are having a meltdown and losing their mind. That's because they're past the point of being able to wind down on their own. Your puppy works the same way. If they've been up too long, past their wake window, or if the environment around them has been too loud or too busy and too exciting, their little nervous system is in overdrive. And a puppy in overdrive cannot settle in their crate, no matter how perfectly it's set up. So the action step, watch your puppy's wake windows very closely. Most young puppies can only handle about 1 to 2 hours of awake time before they need to go down for a nap. And if you're just not sure what that looks like for your puppy's age, that's exactly what my free puppy schedule planner is designed for. It's going to walk you through the wake windows and the sleep needs based on age. And I'm going to provide you a sample schedule so you can see how your puppy's day should actually flow. Comment planner below and I'll share the link with you. Reason number 5, the cool down routine is missing. So this is a game changer. It's one of those things almost nobody's doing unless you heard about it from me. Going from active playtime straight into the crate is really hard for a puppy. Their energy's still up and their brain is still buzzing and their body's in go mode. We kind of need a bridge between activity and rest. So the action step, I want you to build a 15-minute cool down routine before every crate session. So put your puppy in their puppy pen with a calming activity like a lick mat with something puppy safe on it, and then maybe a yak chew or a bully stick. Now while they're winding down with that activity, spray the Thunder Ease pheromone spray around the crate about 15 minutes before they go in. The Thunder Ease spray, it's supposed to mimic the natural calming pheromones that the mother dog produces. This can make a real difference in helping your puppy feel relaxed and settled. And when the 15 minutes are up, transition your puppy into the crate for their nap. Now this simple shift in the routine can transform your crate experience almost immediately. Reason number 6. The crate is in the wrong spot. So where you put the crate matters a ton. I had a student whose puppy was struggling so badly in the crate, she was convinced something was seriously wrong. Turns out the crate was sitting in the laundry room right next to the washing machine and the dryer. Here's something worth knowing. A dog's sense of smell is roughly 40 times stronger than ours. The concentrated scent of the laundry detergent in that small space was really overwhelming for that puppy. And the hum and the vibration of the machines, the random sounds and rattles, and that puppy was basically being asked to relax in the middle of a sensory tornado. Moving the crate to a quiet corner of the living room fixed that problem almost overnight. So the action step. I want you to choose a quiet spot that's not isolated and avoid laundry rooms, bathrooms, and really anywhere loud appliances or strong smelling products are. When you first bring your puppy home, it's okay to keep the crate close to you at night for the first few days while they adjust. The goal over time is to transition them into their own space so they feel safe without your presence right next to them. Reason number 7, the crate environment isn't set up for sleep. Now, think about what makes you sleep better at night. Dark room, quiet, a comfortable temperature, no bright lights shining in. Well, your puppy needs the same things. The action step, cover the crate on the top, front, and both sides with a crate cover or a lightweight blanket. Leave the back open for airflow. This reduces visual stimulation and creates that cozy atmosphere that helps puppies settle. Also, close the blinds in the room to reduce light. Even a small sliver of light peeking through can be enough to keep your puppy stimulated and awake. For the temperature, if your puppy seems too warm, use an oscillating fan pointed at the wall above the crate to create airflow around it without blowing directly on your puppy. And if your puppy seems too cold, listen to me carefully. You can place a heating pad on the lowest setting under the back outside corner of the crate only. Never inside the crate and never under the whole crate. This lets your puppy move toward the warmth or away from it as they need to. And always make sure all cords are completely out of reach. One important note here, we never recommend putting soft bedding inside a puppy's crate. I know it seems cozy, but puppies naturally seek out soft, squishy surfaces when they need to go potty. And anything soft inside the crate is an invitation to do exactly that. It's also a chewing hazard that can become a very serious, very expensive problem if swallowed. So keep the crate floor simple and safe. For now. Now in a moment, I'm going to share what happened to Sarah and her puppy and how crate training helped her avoid separation anxiety with her dog, Pretzel. So stay tuned so that doesn't happen to you. Reason number 8, you haven't built a positive association outside of crate time. This is one of the ones people skip entirely, and it's one that makes the biggest difference. You can do everything else on the list perfectly, but if your puppy only ever experiences the crate when they have to be in it, you're always going to be pushing uphill. The real magic happens when you work on crate training outside of the times that you need to actually use it. This means fun, low pressure, positive exposure sessions where going near the crate or stepping in the crate connects with really good things. Treats, calm praise, a frozen-filled Kong or a West Paw Topple waiting inside. Now over time, your puppy stops seeing the crate as something that happens to them and then starts seeing it as a place they actually want to go. This is exactly what the crate training games inside our online puppy training program are designed to do. We have a full crate and pen training course in the program with games specifically designed to help your puppy gradually and positively build comfort and confidence in the crate. No panic, no cry it out, just fun, step-by-step progress that makes the crate your puppy's favorite place to be. Comment course below and I'll share the link to check out everything that's inside the program. Now, I want to tell you about one of my students named Sarah. Sarah had a 10-week-old lab mix named Pretzel. She tried crate training for 3 days. Pretzel fussed, cried, and protested every single time. And after those 3 days, Sarah decided it just wasn't working. So Pretzel started sleeping in the bed and roaming freely around the house. For a few days, it felt like the right call. Everyone was happier. No more crying, no more fussing. But 6 weeks later, Sarah came back to me completely overwhelmed. Pretzel was having accidents all over the house, chewing things she wasn't supposed to, and when Sarah finally tried to reintroduce the crate, Pretzel wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. Now, the behaviors Pretzel was displaying were signs of separation anxiety, stress from too much space and no one present. So out of frustration and panic, Pretzel started pacing excessively, leading to accidents. Pretzel started chewing furniture to relieve stress. Starting over at 16 weeks was so much harder than it would have been at 10 weeks. Not because Pretzel was a bad dog, but because those early weeks are a critical window for building good habits. And the habits that got built during that time was no crate, free roam, do whatever I want. Here's what I told Sarah, and what I want to tell you too. Those first few days of crate training, they're gonna feel a little hard. A little fussing and protesting is completely normal. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means your puppy is learning something new. Push through that window with the right setup and the right approach, and it gets easier faster than you think. Give up too soon, and you'll be starting from scratch at a much harder stage. Now, Pretzel did eventually get there, but it took a lot more work than it needed to. Don't be Pretzel's mom. Stick with crate training to avoid separation anxiety. Now, here's where I want you to pay close attention, because the next video in this playlist applies to you whether your puppy seems totally fine right now or whether you're already seeing behaviors that are making you a little nervous, or whether you honestly have no idea what's normal and what isn't. We're talking about separation anxiety and what it actually looks like and how to prevent it before it starts, how to spot the early signs if it's already showing up, and how to know the difference between a puppy who is just adjusting and one who's genuinely struggling. This is one of the most searched topics for new puppy owners and one of the most misunderstood. So if you have a puppy, this video is for you. See you in the next video.